Hello, my name is Cristoforo Cachufo. I'm a member of Team 2, and today we will be discussing Lion Electric. Some brief background on Lion Electric. They are a Canadian company that specializes in electric commercial vehicles such as school buses and trucks. They were founded in 2008 in Saint Jerome, Quebec, Canada, which is also where they are headquartered. Their industry is all electric medium and heavy duty commercial vehicles. Some of their leading products are electric school buses and urban trucks. As far as U.S. operations go, they have opened a 900,000 square foot manufacturing facility in Joliet, Illinois in 2023, with a projected capacity of 20,000 vehicles per year. They bolster a fleet of over 2,100 electric vehicles on the road, accumulating more than 28 million miles. As of late, they've experienced some financial troubles, and they have entered creditor protection in Canada and filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy in the United States as of December 2024. In Workbook 1, we looked at Lion's history, vision, and mission. They were founded in 2008 in Quebec, Canada. This is also where they are based today. They helped pioneer electric school buses and expanded into trucks afterwards. They experienced rapid growth followed by recent financial and operational challenges. Their vision is to be leaders in the transition to transportation decarbonization by designing, manufacturing, and distributing fully electric vehicles. Their mission is to create zero-emission electric vehicles that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and offer sustainable, reliable, and efficient transportation solutions.
Now, let's talk about the electric school bus and commercial truck industry in North America, where companies like Lion compete. The industry is booming due to its push for zero emissions, but it has some massive hurdles to overcome. In this segment, I'll cover the environment with a pest analysis, Porter 5 forces, including their top 3 competitors, and their top 5 micro-environmental issues. Let's begin. First, the pest analysis, covering the political, environmental, social, and technological factors shaping the industry. For political, we had government subsidies, like the EPA's Clean School Bus Program, drive growth, but slow funding, delay orders, and all around hurts cash flow. For economic, we had high production costs and supply chain issues that make scaling tough, while economic slowdowns shrink buyers' budgets. People want eco-friendly transport, but vehicle breakdowns and safety concerns, like rare bus fires, make customers cautious. In the technological aspect, better batteries improve vehicle range, but reliability issues and limited charging stations really slow growth. Next, Porter's 5 forces show us just how competitive this industry is. We had the threat of new entrants listed as moderate. While high manufacturing costs and regulations make entry hard, subsidies attract startups and big players like Ford. We listed suppliers as high, as few suppliers control batteries and chips, and shortages lead to rising prices and delayed deliveries. We had the bargaining power of buyers high as well. School districts and fleet operators, using government funds, demand cheap, reliable vehicles and can switch brands easily. We listed threat of substitutes as low to moderate. The diesel vehicles are fading due to emission rules, but hydrogen trucks and EVs are also growing alternatives. We listed industry rivalry as high, with companies like Lion Electric pushing innovation and price wars, just furthering the competition. Their top 3 competitors we found were Bluebird Corporation, BYD Industries, and Thomas Built Buses. These companies dominate due to their scale, tech, and funding access, making rivalries that much more intense. Here are the industry's 5 biggest micro-environmental issues. Delayed government subsidies slow funding from programs like the EPA, which delays orders, hurting company cash flow. We also have supply chain disruptions. Battery and chip shortages raise costs and delay production, slowing growth. High production costs make vehicles more expensive and limit the adoption of the budget-type buyer. Customer trust and safety concerns are another big issue. Breakdowns and rare safety issues make buyers hesitant to switch to electric. Limited charging infrastructure is a big one to me. Few charging stations restrict vehicle range, discouraging fleet investments. To wrap up, the electric bus and commercial truck industry is growing fast with government support, but funding delays, high costs, and competition from giants like Bluebird, BYD Industries, and Thomas Built Buses make it very tough. Better subsidies and infrastructures are keys to success.
So looking further into the industry analysis, we took a look at some of the external factors. These included rising fuel prices, charging availability, the increased demand for the products that Lion Electric offers, the grid capacity, consumer skepticism, the rules and regulations for mining, the growing government incentives and subsidies, and the charging speed of the electric vehicles, specifically the electric trucks and buses that Lion Electric offers. So diving deeper into these external factors, we are going to be looking at the weights, their ratings, and then their final scores eventually. So we'll go from the highest weight to the lowest rate, the same for the rating, and that the ratings and weights are based on their importance to the company and the industry. Run through the weights real quick. For the rising fuel prices, we got the 0.3. For the charging availability, a 0.2. The same for increased demand, also a 0.2. Grid capacity was a 0.1. The last four: consumer skepticism, rules and regulations for mining, growing government incentives, and the charging speed, each got a 0.05. We'll do the same now for the ratings and the final scores. I'll just run through those real quick. So for the fuel prices, we gave that a 4, resulting in a final score of a 1.2. The chargers, we gave a 3, resulting in a 0.6. For the increased demand, we also gave that a 3, resulting in a 0.6. Grid capacity got a 2, resulting in a 0.2. And again, the last 4, consumer skepticism, rules and regulations, growing government incentives, and the charging speed, all earned the same ratings and final score of 1 for the rating and 0.05 for the final scores. We kind of gave these weights and ratings based on how the consumer would feel. So we thought rising fuel prices was right up at the top alongside charging availability. These are things that people take to heart. The distance they can travel and the money they pay are two very important things. The demand is not so much consumer based. That's more of the industry, and that's just a fact. It's rising, and that's very important for them. And you can see it's kind of a trickle down effect with everything else, all the way down to the charging speed, which is more of just a convenience thing, but people sometimes take that to heart, and it's kind of a big thing for them.
For this part of our group's slideshow presentation and video, I'm going to be talking about Lion Electric's internal analysis. So just to start this off, let's walk through Lion Electric's top internal strengths and weaknesses, categorized as either resources or capabilities. And we're going to be starting with the strengths. First, Lion Electric's strong relationship with the government is considered a strong resource. The company benefits from substantial subsidies and incentives, which reduce production costs and support broader adoption of electric vehicles throughout the country. Second strength I wanted to speak of was their efficient accounts receivable turnover. This was also considered a strong resource for Lion Electric, and this just means that Lion collects its payments quickly and it helps maintain a healthy cash flow. The next strength I wanted to talk about was the high inventory turnover, which reflects a strong capability. Lion is efficient at selling and replenishing their inventory, which shows demand is strong and logistics are well managed. The next strength within Lion Electric Co. happens to be their debt to equity ratio. This represents a strong resource within the company, and it's low enough to indicate that the company is managing its debt responsibly and remains financially stable. For the final strength I wanted to speak on for Lion Electric Co. is their vertical integration in manufacturing, which would be considered a strong capability for the company. And this is because producing many of its own components, Lion reduces its dependence on external suppliers, which gives it more control over quality and cost. At this point, I'm going to be moving on to speaking on the weaknesses within the company. First, declining equity is a lack of resource, and this just suggests that Lion is becoming less financially stable. Second weakness for Lion Electric Co. in this internal analysis would be high production costs. This is another lack of resource, and even with subsidies, manufacturing electric vehicles remains very expensive compared to diesel options, which pressures profit margins. Next weakness to take a look at within Lion Electric Co. would have to be the limited market penetration, which represents a lack of capability. While Lion is still growing, still trails major competitors like Tesla, Proterra, BYD, Invisibility, and moving along with the negative things about Lion Electric Co. Dependence on government funding would be considered a weakness and lack of resource. If subsidies were to be reduced or removed, it would significantly impact Lion's revenue and growth for the foreseeable future. The final negative thing about Lion Electric Co. I wanted to speak about was the negative return on equity, or ROE, which represents another lack of capability. And this just indicates that Lion is not generating positive returns for its investors, highlighting ongoing financial struggles within the company. As a part of the internal analysis for Lion Electric Co., I just wanted to run through a couple numbers here that just give better insight into the company as a whole. So our current ratio for the current year is 1.12. Our quick ratio is 0.29. Our debt to equity ratio is 1.38. Equity at 0.42. Accounts receivable turnover at 3.35. Asset turnover at 0.22. The inventory turnover is 1.1, and our profit margin is minus 74.35%, gross margin minus 29.0. For Lion Electric to ensure long-term success, the company must address its high production costs, dependency on government incentives, and limited market penetration. These weaknesses pose risks to its ability to sustain growth and profitability in a competitive and ever-changing industry. As for the strengths in this internal analysis, Lion Electric's core competence lies in its strategic position in the commercial electric vehicle market, and it's underpinned by strong government support, a diverse product offering, and vertical integration.
Moving on now to the SWOT analysis of Lion Electric, we'll run through their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Of course, starting with their strengths, their charging speed is right up there with the top. They charge fast, and that is great for consumers, especially in the truck and bus industry, who gotta get on the road often. That could be very helpful for their business. The increase in demand is also huge, because if people want your product, you can continue making them, selling them, and making money, which is obviously good for business. Increasing government support is big, because this could lead to future laws and regulations that could help the business overall. Some of Lion Electric's weaknesses could potentially be the grid capacity, the charger's availability, and government incentives. The government incentives could go one of two ways. They could either help or hurt the industry. Like the government support obviously helps us, the government incentives could hurt the industry. Charging availability, again, could hurt the industry, could help the industry. If they're all over, then it's great. If not, then people can't get to where they want to go, and it's not so good for the business overall. Lion Electric also has some great opportunities moving forward in the future. Rising fuel prices is one, because obviously people don't want to spend a lot on gas, and for school buses and trucks, this could show up in the form of taxes. So this could actually make citizens' taxes lower in the end. diverse product line is also an opportunity because not many people offer electric buses and trucks. So if you're in the industry for one, then it's likely that Lion Electric will come across your board at some point. And the sustainability is one as well. If they can continue to increase their sustainability over time like they have been in previous years, then there's a good chance that they could stay afloat for a while longer.
I will be going over strategies overview of Lion Electric Company. Uh, First off, we want to use this rising fuel prices to our advantages. As gas prices go up, we will highlight how electric buses and trucks can save money. And this showed people that choosing electric vehicles is not only good for the environment, but also for their wallets. Help them save money in the process. Next, we will improve our charging network. We plan to work with energy companies and local government to make sure there are enough charging stations around all regions, like gas stations. Whenever you see a gas station, we make sure you see electric stations right next to it. And by using government support, we can build up our charging infrastructure to help more people drive electric vehicles. Our third point is to reduce doubt about electric vehicles. And this is one way we could go about it. We know some people are unsure about electric vehicles. By talking about the rising of fuel costs, we can show them that switching to electric vehicle is a smart financial decision, emphasizing the saving they can accept. And finally, we want to expand our charging access in areas that need it the most. Our goal is to ensure every community has the charging station they need, especially in regions where their services are currently lacking. For an example, Houston. And now let's look at how we will implement these strategies using the McKinsey 7S framework, which focus on the key areas: structure, system, skills, style, and staff. Let's start off with the first one: structure. We plan to create teams that focus especially on partnerships and community engagement. This way, we can work together more quickly and effectively. And the next one is system. We'll set up a new system to keep track of our partnership, manage subsides, and deploy charging stations. Using data analytics will help us understand how customers think and make a better decision based off of it, based off the customer's feedback. Moving on to skill. We need our team to have a strong skill in negotiation, understanding electric vehicles and sustainability on how electric vehicles work and what you need to maintain electric vehicles. And we will provide training so everyone is prepared to help our customers see the benefits of going to electric vehicles. For style, our leadership will encourage teamwork and creativity. We want to build a strong relationship with our partners and community we serve, creating an open and welcoming company culture. And finally, for staff, we will bring a new talent with knowledge in renewable energy and public policy. This recruitment effort will help us expand our capabilities and make sure our team is diverse and can meet the needs of our various communities. In summary, our main goal are straightforward. We want to speed up and the adaptation of electric vehicles by making the move more accessibility and dependable to everyone. By collaborating with others, We will strengthen our charging network, and we will also use the rising fuel prices story to attract budget to attract budget from our customers. And by doing this, we want Lion Electric to lead in an electric vehicle market and be a strong force in promoting clear transportation options for the future. And this is all I have for today. Thank you for listening to me.